Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Aryan Zafira binti Zulkifli, and my group is going to be presenting about the types and functions of inflections found in the subtitle of Malaysian short film entitled Haikal. These are the members. We have Aina Akila, myself Aryan Zafira, Ika Dilaila, Irina, and Nur Akila Nasuha. These are the chapters that we're going to be diving in. First, we have introduction. Next is literature review, methodology, findings, and lastly, conclusion. For the abstract, in the study of language, inflections represent an important part since they affect language's meaning and structure. The primary object of this research is to examine and evaluate the various kind and purposes of inflections found in the subtitle of Malaysian short film Haikal. Continuing on with the chapter 1, Chapter 1 is the introduction, so this chapter dives into the analysis of inflections within the subtitles of the short film Haikal, which emphasize their critical role in linguistic structure and complexity. This research aims to categorize and interpret various types of inflections using that is used in the film to understand how they contribute to the communicative strategies in cinematic discourse. By examining these, the study provides insight into the impact on translation practice and media discourse analysis. For a research objective, we have two. First is to explore the types of inflection errors found in the subtitle of the short film Haikal. Second is to analyze the function of inflection found in the subtitles of the short film Haikal. For research questions, we have two as well. First, we have what are the types of inflection errors found in the subtitles of the short film Haikal. Second is what are the function of inflections found in the subtitles of the short film entitled Haikal. Continuing on for chapter 2. Chapter 2 is literature review. This chapter offers a thorough literature review on inflection in morphology, focusing on its role in indicating grammatical categories such as tense and mood. It synthesizes findings from typology comparison, theoretical models, and empirical studies to frame future research within broader linguistic contexts. This can emphasize the morphological process and implication for language learning and computational implication in the future. Inflection. What is inflection? Inflection is a process where the words are modified with respect to grammatical categories such as tense, moods, voices, aspects, persons, numbers, genders, and cases. Normally, the modifications include form changes through attachment of prefixes, suffixes, or infixes, or any other morphological operation. However, this does not alter the core meaning of the word or its part of speech. Next is type of inflection. These are the three inflection that we found in the short film Haikal. First is verb inflection. Verb inflection is a process to modify verbs according to the tense, aspect, mood, voice, person, number, or sometimes gender and or case. The modification usually comes in form of affixes. For example, the word baking. It comes from the word bake and adding the modification or the affix ing to show that it's continuous. Second is walked, WELKED, which comes from the word walk, and it add the inflection ed to it to show it is past tense. Next is noun inflection or nominal inflection. Noun inflection is a regular modification of the form of nouns and pronouns, adjective and determinants for number, case, and gender, and sometimes definiteness or possession. For example, we have pens, which come from the word pen, but after adding the modification s, it becomes plural. So This is the case for numbers. And second is the addition of apostrophe s or apostrophe or just s. That is for possessive nouns. For example, this is mom's car. The mums here has the inflection apostrophe s, which shows the car is mom, is the possession of moms. Lastly, we have adjectival inflection, the example being from the word hot, become hotter, or become hottest. This is comparative adjective or superlative adjective. Adjectival inflection is a regular modification of adjectives for various grammatical features, most typically in comparative and superlative forms, which where we add er or est at the end. And that is the end of my part. I will be passing it to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Aina Akila binti Muhammad Romzi. So now I'm going to explain about the past studies that we use in our second assignment. So there are 10 past studies that we have choose. The first one is from Sina, Verissimo and Klassen 2019. In this study, they discovered about the age at which individuals acquire language influences their understanding of inflections. So, based on this study, we can relate with our topic whereby individuals who acquire a second language earlier might have a better understanding of inflection forms used in subtitles rather than those who are acquire the language a bit late in their life. Next, our second past studies that we have used is Tahir et al. 2020. For this study, they discovered about the use of derivational and inflectional morphemes by Pakistani students at the intermediate level. So the result from this research, we they found that there are many students who struggle with affixation processes, and also they often to use correct words in their daily communication and also writing. So this can be linked to difficulties in understanding and using inflections in subtitles where people struggle to translate from L1 to L2 correctly. The third one is from Claudia et al. 2020. In this study, uh, it discussed about the inflection, whereby inflection involve marking information such as case, number, person, tense, and also aspect of words. In this study, there are two models that have represented. The first one is realizational models, and the second one is WP, or we call it as word and paradigm models. So in the context of subtitles, translators need to navigate these two models to ensure that the inflectional choices made in translation align with the syntactic and semantic requirements of the subtitle. Okay, number four is Tira 2020. This study talk about that morphemes play a vital role in altering the meaning and part of speech of words. So this is similar in the context of subtitles, where inflectional morphemes often play a crucial role in shaping the grammatical structure of a sentence. Okay, number five. This past study is from Miriam, ST, and Lina, 2021. This study suggests that inflectional processing is a specialized cognitive task that involves specific brain regions. So, in subtitling, understanding this neurological basis can underscore the cognitive effort required to accurately translate and also convey inflections from one language to another language. Number 6, Fabrianti, Eva, and Sri, 2021. The study identifies that EFL learners frequently make errors in using verb forms within inflectional morphology. This same goes in subtitling, whereby translators must possess a solid understanding of inflection rules to ensure accurate translation of verb forms. Next, number 7, Qing Yuan, Holly, and Vasiliki, 2021. These studies explore that L1 Mandarin speakers of English often make errors in producing inflectional morphology with complex forms. Therefore, I think that in order to be a translators, they need to have a great knowledge of inflectional morphology in both languages. Let's say their first language is Mandarin, and the second language is English. So they need to master in both languages to ensure the faithful of the translation. Okay, number 8 is this past study is from Martin 2023. This study explained that the traditional distinction between inflection and derivation might be more influenced by Western linguistic traditions than by actual linguistic usage. So, in subtitles, inflections might be used to convey essential grammatical information within the constraint of space and time. Meanwhile, derivation might be less frequently used due to their potential to add complexity and length. Okay, now we are arriving at the second last of the past studies in our second assignment. So the second last of past studies is from Jordan et al. 2023. This study is explain about the morphological inflection in subword and LP. So from the findings of this study, we conclude that this can be related with our topic, whereby creating effective subtitles requires careful consideration of how inflections are handled. And the last past studies that we use is from Chiao Ling and Isabel 2023. The study discussed morphosyntactic and inconsistencies arising from cross-linguistic transfer in Chinese EFL learners. In subtitles, the similar issues can arise when translating or adapting content from one language to another language. So, in order to prevent this happen, translator must be aware of these potential inconsistencies to ensure that the subtitles are grammatically correct and natural sounding in the target language. So I think that's all for the past studies. And what can we conclude from these 10 past studies is we can know some of the problems, factors, and also solutions before we analyze the inflection error in the short film Haikal. So that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will be continuing our presentation today on the chapter 3, which is the methodology that includes introduction, research design, sample use, instrumentation, data collection, and conclusion. So we will look at the introduction, which is the first one we have here is research methodology. So this chapter will look into our research methodology, which focusing on the types and functions of inflection, specifically in the subtitles of the short film Haikal. So the goal is to explore the type of inflection and analyze their function within the film's subtitles. So this methodology integrates a qualitative approach collecting data through observing Malay and English subtitles of the film. So this chapter also aims to offer valuable insights for language education by closely examining the morphology of inflection in this short film. So for the objectives of this study, which is also under the introduction, we will aims to explore the types of inflections that are mostly used and to analyze the function of inflection found in the subtitles of this short film. And for the research design, we use qualitative approach through observation for this short film. So it involves studying social phenomena in real life settings which aligns with our approach. Qualitative research allows for a detailed examination of language use beyond numerical data, focusing on the context to understand how inflections work in the movie's language settings. So we will look at the introduction, which is the first one we have here is research methodology. So this chapter will look into our research methodology, which focusing on the types and functions of inflection, specifically in the subtitles of the short film Haikal. So the goal is to explore the type of inflection and analyze their function within the film subtitles. So this methodology integrates a qualitative approach collecting data through observing Malay and English subtitles of the film. So this chapter also aims to offer valuable insights for language education by closely examining the morphology of inflection in this short film. So for the objectives of this study, which is also under the introduction, we will aims to explore the types of inflections that are mostly used and to analyze the function of inflection found in the subtitles of this short film. And for the research design, we use qualitative approach through observation for this short film. So it involves studying social phenomena in real life settings which aligns with our approach. Qualitative research allows for a detailed examination of language use beyond numerical data, focusing on the context to understand how inflections work in the movie's language settings. Next one is data collection procedure. So I have pasted a picture here on the flow of how we conduct this study. The first step is that we discuss the film that we should select which aligns with our objectives and findings, and we came across this short film titled Haikal, and we started to search for the high quality resolution for this film which comes with subtitles through YouTube. Moving on, we manually transcribe the subtitles and extract it from the short film that we have chosen. Next, we started to break down the transcribed subtitles into individual sentences. We also exclude non-relevant sections such as background noises, and we also started to identify words and types of inflection based on the transcribed script and started to categorize it into their grammatical functions and errors. Lastly, we record the findings in this report. Last but not least is the conclusion. So this chapter has outlined the research methodology employed to investigate the types and functions of inflection, which is the morphology found in the subtitles of Malaysian short film entitled Haikal. So the adaptability of the qualitative approach enable researchers to adjust their focus as new linguistic patterns emerge, providing a thorough examination of inflection in the film. Overall, the observational and qualitative study that we use in this study was efficient, and we get to collect the data that we needed in order to proceed with this study. So I will pass this presentation to our next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Akilana Suha, and I will be presenting chapter 4, my analysis on the English subtitles for the Malay short film Haikal. So we will explore the types of inflections found, the distribution of these inflections, and the reasons behind the inflections errors observed. We actually found 60 sentences that have inflections in it. But for today's presentation, I will only focus on some. So the first one, the subtitle goes, what about your friends? Do you know their names? Here, we found two inflections which are friends and names. They are a noun inflection in the plural form. And from this sentence, there's no inflection error found. Next. The second one, the English subtitle is about one day she saw a handsome guy riding a Vespa. The inflection found here is verb inflection, saw and riding. So saw is in the past tense form and riding is in the past continuous form. So the sentence 2 has no inflection error found. Next. Okay, so for the third one, the subtitle is See now, Papa can use chopsticks to eat me, and Mommy is even better. So the better there is an adjective inflection in the comparative form. Next, the subtitle is Mommy never hung out with Malay guys. So hung is the verb inflection found in the sentence. It is an irregular verb and we detected the inflection error from the sentence, which is the correct form will be Mommy never hangs out with Malay guys. And the last one, for the sentence, he's already weird, then picks a fight for no reason. So the inflection found is verb inflection in the form of third person singular. So the error here is the word picks. It should be pick because the context is actually about past tense. I mean past event. Hence, the correct sentence should be he's already weird, then pick a fight for no reason. Next, we will be moving on to the distributions of inflection. So from the 60 inflections found in the subtitles, verb inflections were the most common, followed by noun inflections, and finally adjective inflections were the least common. So this distribution is important for understanding the overall error patterns. So for verb inflections, the plot of Haikal is driven by actions and events that are mostly that are expressed through verbs. This is why the subtitles used verbs inflection the most. And noun inflections were the second most frequent. This is because characters frequently refer themselves, others, and various objects. And lastly, adjective inflections were the least common. Why? This is because in many dialogues, detailed descriptions are less common compared to actions and objects. And adjectives are used when necessary to add detail, which may not be as often in everyday conversation. Now, now let's talk about the factor contributing to the very few inflections error that we observed. It is because the subtitles might be subbed by professional subtitlers who are fluent in both the source and target language. The source is Malay and the target language is English. So this fluency allows them to convey the correct meaning to ensure accurate and contextually appropriate translations, hence reducing the likelihood of misinterpretation. So this is why errors in the subtitles found are very minimal. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Irina binti Muhammad Rizwan and my ID number is AM230413256. So, hi everyone. Today I'm discussing the subtitle analysis of the Malaysian short film entitled Haikal. So, in this part, we are focusing on the types and functions of inflection found in the subtitles. So, we identify the types and functions of inflections in this analysis and highlights the inflections error present. These inflections fall into three categories, which are verbs, nouns, and adjective. And the main categories of inflections are verb inflections, because verb inflections include past tense forms, both regular and irregular, present participles, and also subject-verb agreements. And there is also noun in their plural forms, and lastly adjective, which adjective inflections appear in specifically in comparative and superlative forms. And there is also noun in their plural forms, and lastly adjective, which adjective inflections appear in specifically in comparative and superlative forms. And next is commonality of verb inflections. So basically, the verb inflections are the most common in the subtitles because they are essential for describing events and activities, and it makes the verb inflections more prevalent than noun and adjective inflections. So based on the finding that I found, according to Levidia in 2023, she points out that verbs play a crucial role in narrative clarity. Next, we are talking about the less common adjective inflections found in the subtitles because they are less frequent use compared to the verbs inflection, because as subtitles we tend to focus more on actions rather than the descriptions. So when adjectives appear, they are usually in comparative or superlative forms. Last but not least is the functions of inflection. So the inflections serve several key functions indicating tense, number, and degree as well. And these several key functions ensure to an accurate communication of order, quantity, and comparison, which is vital for a clear understanding of the subtitles. So the use of inflections in Haikal is essential to convey the storyline effectively. Okay, next, the conclusion of this report is the analysis of the subtitles in the Malaysian short film Haikal reveals that verb inflections are the most common, followed by noun and adjective inflection. So these inflections convey degree, number, and tense, which are essential for effective communication, like I said before this. And this study also underscores the importance of careful translation and a good quality assurance in creating accurate subtitles, and accurate inflections are crucial for ensuring that the viewers fully understand the narrative and context of the film. Finally, we have come to the last part, which is the recommendations on future subtitling. There are 4 of them. The first one is enhanced training. Firstly, there is a need for enhanced training for subtitles. It's essential to provide better language training focusing on morphology and syntax. So by understanding these aspects deeply, subtitlers can produce more accurate and coherent subtitles. For example, incorporating advanced subtitling software that can detect and correct morphological errors will significantly improve the quality of the subtitles. The second one is multilingual subtitling. We should encourage subtitling to maintain the narrative integrity across different languages, because subtitling in multiple languages ensure that non-native speakers can fully appreciate that film's content. And more research into multilingual subtitling practices can help us understand and overcome the challenges involved, leading to the better subtitling strategies. And also, the standardization. It's another critical recommendation is the standardization of subtitling practices, because it's the way to develop clear guidelines for inflectional usage will help subtitlers maintain consistency and accuracy. And this promotes collaboration between linguists and subtitlers, can also enhance the quality of subtitles by combining linguistic expertise with practical subtitling skills. And last but not least is educational resources, which increasing the availability of educational resources is crucial, because by providing workshops, online courses, and handbooks can equip subtitlers with the necessary skills and knowledge. So by implementing quality control measured through inspections and peer reviews will ensure that subtitles meet the high standards. So in conclusion, By focusing on enhanced training, multilingual subtitling, standardization, and educational resources, we can significantly improve the quality of subtitles. So these recommendations aim to ensure that subtitles are accurate, consistent, and accessible to a wider audience. I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening.